For episode 7, I share a song with Clay from a band that maybe you've heard about, the Beatles. We discuss a song that is, at least to me, one of the finest songs in recorded music history. Welcome to I Got a Song. Welcome back, one and all, to the pod.
Yes, indeed. Happy to be here. What's happening, Mikey?
Oh man, I'm doing good. I'm topped off on coffee. Had a good breakfast this morning. I'm ready to talk about some music. How about you?
Music is not really my thing. I don't know.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, you're just gonna have to come along on this ride with me then. How about that?
Oh Lord. Okay.
Because I'm in the driver's seat on this episode.
I'm stoked. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for having me today in your fine studio.
Absolutely.
Enjoying your delicious coffee. We usually get to do this. We usually have to do this thing separately, remotely, but today we are in the same house, same
in the same
building, sitting on
building,
the same carpet,
and sharing the same internet connection, and it's a fine thing. It's a fine thing. Well, tell them real quick. Tell them what today is, Clay.
Well, today is special because we're going to be doing some podcasts, right? So I mean, that's great.
Yes.
And we got to sit outside on the grass to prepare together and discuss.
We discussed
enjoy one
the
another's
future
company.
of the pod, enjoying each other's company, sitting outside in the wonderful weather. It's been a great day so far.
I'm having a great day.
All right,
I think Michael is alluding to the fact that it is, in fact, my birthday.
It is, and what a glorious day it's going to be. Let's get some podcasts. I'm going to start things out again for anyone who's kind of jumping in. How we do things here is that each of us kind of take turns alternating back and forth. And today it's my turn, so I'm going to deliver a song by surprise to Clay. And we're going to take a minute, listen to it, come back, and discuss the merits or the demerits of said song or artist. Usually, it's a song that means something to us that we are sharing with the other one. Our musical tastes do align. There really is no criteria, I would say, other than making sure that it's available on Spotify. But the criteria, I would say, a song that I wish to share with you and talk about with you. It can be a song that we both know and love. It can be a song you've never heard of. It can be a song that I don't like, but I know you like. It could be anything, just whatever we're feeling for the day.
Have we sent anything to each other yet that is like, I know that I don't like this, but Michael will like it, so I'm going to send it anyway?
We haven't, but it is an intriguing possibility for down the road, and I already have a couple in mind.
There's only a few million songs left, so I think we have plenty of material to choose from.
I agree. So real quick, to wrap up the intro here, I've got a question for you. Can you think of a band that you're not necessarily into? Let's say you're indifferent. How about a band that you're indifferent about, but that they may have one or two songs that you just absolutely love?
Oh, a band that I'm indifferent about, but I love a couple of their songs.
Can you think of anything that falls along that line?
It should be real easy.
You would think, but I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm indifferent about the band, but I like a couple of their songs. We're gonna say Blue Oyster Cult. You brought them up. I like the Godzilla. Godzilla is a good song, and
Godzilla is great.
Burning for You is fine. Don't Fear the Reaper's fine.
Yeah,
those are, they're good. I'll probably listen to the Godzilla song more than any of their other songs. I'll probably skip. Don't Fear the Reaper probably 50% of the time.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So yeah, those are some songs that I like, but I don't.
That's a good choice. Now, I'm not going to preface anything else. I think I'm going to go ahead and share the song, and then we'll talk a minute about, after we come back from listening to the song, we'll talk a little bit about why I feel the way I feel about this band. But you ready for the song?
Okay,
I'm going to send it.
It's like the best part of my day. Whenever I I don't know why. It's fun every time.
All right, it's like a Christmas gift every podcast. It really
every
is, just
time.
like you're unwrapping it. Okay, I'm about to hit send, and for those of you out there, I'm sending a link to the song to my friend Clay, and it's a surprise until he receives it.
Weird. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have "Let It Be" by the Beatles.
Let It Be by the Beatles. It is the naked version.
You
What's considered the
specifically
naked
sent the
version.
naked version on purpose
Yes,
for some reason.
I did, and we'll come back to that in a minute. But
it will become apparent. Oh hell yeah! Okay. I
so
don't know
what
that
we
I know
got?
this version.
Oh, okay. Well, this will be a treat for both of us then. All right. So this is "Let It Be" naked version by the Beatles. At this point in the episode, Clay and Michael listen to the song and then come back to discuss it. For the best experience, we recommend that you do the same on your music platform of choice. Okay, you just heard "Let It Be," the naked version by the Beatles. Clay?
Man, that's already that's one of my a classic favorite Beatles song of mine from my favorite Beatles album. I don't know if I'd heard that before. The main thing that stood out, like I mentioned earlier, is that I noticed the guitar solo is different. I guess, is that a different George Harrison take or something?
So I haven't done my proper due diligence on the research on the Naked album itself, but the original album, Let It Be, was recorded in 1970 amidst all of the Beatles, internal strife. And I believe I read where the album itself was released 1 month after they had already publicly said that they were no longer going to be the Beatles. The original recording, they brought in a producer named Phil Spector. This is kind of the stuff of rock and roll legend, but he came in. He's what they refer to as a wall of sound guy. He brings in all kinds of, like he overdubs guitars for extra layers. He brings in orchestral arrangements and choral arrangements, and just he really fills a recording out with a lot of fluff, for lack of a better way to put it. And
nice.
And I don't know if like the Beatles were just kind of under a time constraint to get the album out, or they were just done with it or whatever, but they were just tired of each other and ready to be done. But whatever the case is, they heard it, they didn't care for it, but they released the album anyway, and of course grumbled about it later, saying that Phil Spector kind of ruined the original intention of several songs, including "Let It Be" on this album. And
did you watch the "Let It Be" doc?
I have not.
Peter Jackson thing?
I have not, and I really need to.
It's not for everybody. For one, okay, if you love the Beatles, great. But also, I mean, if you are interested in the recording process and the creative process and the whole thing, the studio thing, it's a real,
I've heard
cup
that,
of tea.
yeah.
It's right up your alley. But the flip side of that coin is, if you're not into that, you will be dreadfully bored.
Yeah. So
it's my opinion.
I've heard that, and
yeah,
I'm
it's
really
not for everybody,
intrigued, and
sure.
I really want to dig into that. And I just keep forgetting to turn it on. But so anyway, the naked version, I believe, was released in 2003, and where Paul and a number of other people, obviously John Lennon couldn't participate, but I believe George Harrison still alive at that point?
Yeah, he didn't die until 2001 or 3.
Okay, because this released in 03, so I'll have to go back in my notes and look at that. But anyway, Paul McCartney kind of spearheaded the release of this thing, where it's a scaled back. They cut out a lot of the Phil Spector-ness of the original recording, and to kind of to mirror what you said about the guitar solo being different. They re-recorded a few parts, and it's a much more intimate setting for the song, I guess, and that was perhaps Paul McCartney's original vision for that song and for the album as a whole, to be more like one of these kind of a less is more type of things. So
Okay.
he didn't want all of the pomp and circumstance of the additional things that Phil Spector put in. And saying that, I actually really like the original recording, the original album, the original recording of Let It Be.
It's hard to beat.
I have never had a problem with it, although once it came out that Paul McCartney didn't care for it, naturally people are going to be, oh, well, I can't listen to that. I've got to hear what the artist's original intent was. Well, if it bothered him that bad, they could have stopped the whole thing. So,
I mean, having that in mind, I guess I knew that it was out there and it had probably popped up and, as a suggested song here and there, and I just didn't really give it, much thought. When I think of when I think of Let It Be, I go to one of my most prized possessions, which is a Let It Be vinyl pressing that was given to me by my mom, who bought it, brand new when it came out, and then she, I inherited it.
That's a beautiful story because it's such a it's such a great album recording, and just the fact that sorry people, I've got a dog who's suddenly going on alert mode here.
This is great. I can vamp for a little while if you need to.
No, she'll shut up in a minute. Tell you what, let's take a temporary pause. I want the listeners to think about what they think they know about the Beatles, and then we'll be right back. Gah. All right, we were discussing the Beatles. Let It Be.
That vinyl pressing.
The vinyl pressing that you got from your mom. Yes.
That one. I don't know if it's. You may know a little bit more than I do about vinyl, but and it's not like it's in fantastic condition either. It's been loved and used.
Of course,
and I think my mother in her youth signed her signature on the cover or something, somewhere like that, property of mom, and so, but it's just but it's nice and it just sounds good. It's just got the old scratchy. It's it's got the sound of it. But that album is
that's
one
part
of
the character. Yes.
Yeah, it's part of it, and just the way the album opens with Two of Us. That song, Two of Us. I've wanted to do that song actually as an episode. Now I still may one day.
Okay.
It'd have to be. But that I don't know, for some reason that little ditty, the first track on Let It Be, Two of Us, is just so nice. It's fun, and I've got this little memory. I took a video with my phone when my little girls were maybe 2 or 3 or 3 and 4, and they're both. I've got that playing on the turntable, and they're dancing and being adorable and just like. So yeah, there's some special memories with that, and then just I really enjoyed the Peter Jackson dog, man. I think you should do yourself a favor and
I'm going to. I'm going to put it on my list, and there's several music docs that I need to check out, and that's chief among them. But I'm going to circle back to at the beginning of the podcast when we opened up, and my question to you was, think of a band that you are indifferent about, but they have one or possibly a handful of songs that you just love. And it may be sacrilegious to say, but the Beatles as a whole just don't do a whole lot for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't hate them. I absolutely respect what they did for popular music. I mean, not just rock and roll, popular music in general. I mean, they are perhaps the most influential and revered band in recorded music history. I can't think of another band that is more elevated than the Beatles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's been more written about the Beatles than anybody,
Yes.
ever probably.
And the Beatles are a band where I can't think of much else to say about them that hasn't already been said. But, and you know this about me, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, I'm much more of a Rolling Stones guy than I am a Beatles guy. But Let It Be, I don't know why this song really speaks to me the way it does, but I put it up there with Mayonnaise by the Smashing Pumpkins and Where the Streets Have No Name by U2 as just a song that no matter where I am, when it plays, I stop and I listen and it gives me chills every time. I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful song. I don't know, man. It's just it speaks to me on a level that very, very few other songs do. And it
you're not
always
the only one. This song it resonates with a lot of people. I think it offers up there's a there's a comfort to it.
yes, there's a comfort and a hope.
It's so awesome that that this little segment right here that we're talking about. There's a comfort. There's a hope. This is going to play into the next episode. My song that I've got.
Well, I can't wait.
What a perfect, yeah,
like segue.
It's kind of perfect. Well, it's not. I mean, I'm not segueing into the next episode yet, but yeah, no, it's like a perfect. I don't know. You'll find out.
No. Well, I really can't wait. But
I love the song. I love the song too. It's easily one of their most iconic. But it fits right in with what we do. It's a really uplifting, spiritual song to a lot of people. And man, I know you love it more than I do. But I've sure everybody who loves Let It Be had a Let It Be moment, and they're like, oh man, I was driving in the car and I was having a bad day, and for some reason Let It Be came on and it spoke to me.
Oh yeah.
And I felt comforted, and I felt for a minute like, hey, it's gonna be all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I don't dig a whole lot of the Beatles. There's a handful of songs that I really like. There's this one song that I just love beyond compare. But it's funny, and I almost feel silly for saying it, but I mean, it is what it is. The Beatles don't do a whole lot for me, musically speaking.
So I like the Beatles more than you.
Oh, much more, yeah.
But you like this song more than me.
Yes. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I picked this one. I knew I wanted to throw in a Beatles song. I was debating between this and a couple others. There's some other ones that I really do like. I like Hey Jude a lot.
Yeah, I know you like that one too, and I'm less big on that one as well.
Right. But
what's your favorite? Is this your favorite Beatles song?
Let It Be.
Yeah,
without a doubt, far and away.
Is it their best song?
Without a doubt. Is it their best song? Oh man.
Yes.
Technically speaking, probably not. No, but
no. Okay, what is
lyrically speaking? I think it says more than a lot of their other songs to me. Anyway, it speaks to me more than a lot of their stuff, especially their kind of late '60s, experimentation phases. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds or Yellow Submarine. I check out real quick on stuff like that, but I do, and I'm not really ashamed to say it.
What about A Day in the Life? Do you know that song?
A Day in the Life is good. I like that one.
It's a trip. It's a fun song. I like it. There's so much going on. It's bananas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one I can listen to. Again, it's out there. I don't crave it. I don't think, hey, I want to listen to A Day in the Life. No. But but I will out of nowhere tell myself, hey, I want to listen to Let It Be, and I'll like scroll through a playlist or just type it in and hit it.
Oh, you will specifically go and dial up that specific song.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Not very often, mind you, but I will seek it out individually. When the mood strikes, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some songs get on a roll. That I do that with. That's interesting.
I don't know if you use like the queue up function very much in Spotify, but I'll be listening to a playlist or letting the DJ do his thing whenever he seems to get it right occasionally or whatever. and a vibe will hit me, and I'm just like, I'll start thinking of songs that kind of along the same vein, and I'll be like, I'll come across Let It Be. It's like, nope, yes, absolutely, add it to the queue, and I'll queue up like 5 songs that all kind of.
So say you just had your Let It Be moment. You're driving down the road, and you've got 10 more minutes till you get to your house, and you had your Let It Be moment, and you're drying your eyes a little bit, and you take a drink of water, and you're like, okay, the next song in the queue is this.
Oh, I already mentioned it. Where the Streets Have No Name.
Well, you're going to be a ball of emotions by the time you get home. Your eyes are going to be all red. Be like, what are you crying about?
It fills me up. What are you crying about? What's wrong with you? Man, that's
Susie would be the same way. She would be like, loser?
Get over it. Go to your room and cry it out. Get out of my face. Man, there's some. You put me on the spot now. I gotta think about it. Streets, Mayonnaise. Crap. What else? Yeah, I could sit here.
Go too deep because some of these you may want to use these for future episodes.
I could.
You ever think about that and want to censor yourself? Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I don't know if I want to say this to Michael because that might be a good episode.
We've already done an episode on this one, but Bad by U2. That kind of
heavy duty
runs along that,
Yeah. U2 is really good about making those songs that are they're uplifting and they're spiritual and they make you cry a little bit. They make you happy.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, man.
Yeah, they're intense, man. They got the fire. They got passion.
They do. And without really getting into the weeds of the history behind Let It Be, I read somewhere where like George Harrison had temporarily left the band, and there was just so much strife. Yoko Ono
in the middle of the recording, he took off, and they couldn't get hold of him for a while.
Yeah, and
a few days.
They managed to work things out to the degree that they could come together, wrap up the album and everything. And I believe I read somewhere, I don't know if it was the song specifically Let It Be or just a group of the songs, but Paul McCartney apparently meant some of these recordings to be something that brought them back together and hopefully reignite the spark. And it obviously didn't. But
well, I would say one thing that and you'll see this in the doc, but the addition of what's his name, Billy Preston.
Yes, Billy Preston, the keyboardist. Yeah,
came in with all that beautiful. I believe it's like a Fender Rhodes organ. Or is it a Hammond? I don't know. I can't. Something like that. It's one of those. Sure. I think it's a Rhodes. Anyway, if only there were some way to find out if we had done our research. But unfortunately all that information is lost to the.
To the annals of history and inaccessible by the layman.
You'll see in that you're gonna have to go to the library and dig it out. Anyway, you'll see in that documentary though, adding him in, and they called him the fifth Beatle, at some point. But that is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing is because they're in a spot where they're having a hard time and they need something else. Like this song is missing something. And they bring in this guy, Billy Preston, I believe is his name. He was this young guy, but he was playing with a whole bunch of other bands, or he might have, I don't know if he was just dang it, I really should not keep talking about him because I'm going to get it wrong. But man, he really brought in an extra element into those sessions.
Yeah, no doubt.
Those organ sounds on there are just timeless, and they're just beautiful. They're really cool.
And even with all of the internal battles that the band were fighting, they managed to put out this beautiful product, and I even read that it was like not very well received when it first came out. It's one of those albums that really kind of took off in retrospect. Now it sold a bunch, of course, because it was the Beatles, but especially after they had said that they were going to be done. But critically speaking, it didn't really gain its wings, so to speak, until significantly later. And of course, it's the song obviously is one of my absolute favorite songs, but the album itself is a fantastic work of art. And for it to have been born from all of this conflict, I mean, some of the best albums in history were born out of conflict, and the emotion and the kind of the raw, this is what we're dealing with type stuff. I mean, I could name a few examples, but we'll be here forever if we sit here and listen to that. But
you do need to watch the that Get Back documentary.
Is that what it's called? Get Back?
It's called Get Back. Yeah, I should have been saying that earlier. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, Billy Preston played Billy mainly on the Get Back, the song, the song Get
oh
Back.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's him. Anyway.
Well,
yeah, I recommend it.
Any closing thoughts on Let It Be or the song or the album or the Beatles in general?
I love the song. You love it more?
I do.
I prefer. No, this is a good song. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. You love it more than me, though. Clearly. But oh yeah, what a just and I really like that you gave the this naked version. That was a lot of fun listening to that with you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you weren't terribly familiar with it. Like, you're familiar with enough with the song to pick up on the subtle changes. And for anyone listening, I recommend you go and listen to them back to back. I feel like the two versions of the song stand together well. I mean, you can like one or the other or both. I like both. I don't really prefer one over the other one. I mean, whichever one comes up, I'm going to listen to it because it kind of transcends the subtle differences to me. But
yeah, I'm gonna. I actually am gonna. For further listening, I'm gonna listen to the two back to back. For my homework assignment. Now, you said last episode on the Cherry Pit that you were going to listen to some more Pink Shiny Ultra Blast.
So, I did. I have, yes. I did say that.
Did you really?
And I have a little bit, yeah. I haven't. I could not tell you a song that I listened to, but I pulled up a Pink Shiny Ultra Blast. Like, it's kind of like one of these playlists that maybe Spotify just kind of conjures, and it says, "This is Pink Shiny Ultra Blast."
Yeah.
And I just kind of let it go, and I liked what I heard. Now, I didn't take note of any track names or anything like that, but I did enjoy what I heard.
Well, I'm proud that you did that because this is, I don't know. I'm happy that you did that and that you got some enjoyment out of it, and I'm hoping that everybody else will too.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole point of what we're doing here is to, I mean, we share songs with each other all the time that we both know and love, or that I know and love, or that you know and love, that sort of thing. But we're sharing it with each other, but also sharing it with you, the listener.
Yeah,
and
maybe the person listening heard this song and was like, I've heard this song 100 times, but it's been a while, and let's go ahead and listen to it, and maybe they got something out of it.
Absolutely. And two fresh perspectives on an old song always kind of helps reinvigorate the song in my mind. So
that's right. Thanks for listening, people.
Thanks for listening.
Take your vitamins. Michael, great song. Good job, buddy.
Okay, thanks a lot, man. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God!
Hey, we really appreciate you listening to the show today. If you enjoyed it, feel free to listen to the rest of our catalog and share it with your friends. Go ahead and follow us. And you can find me on Instagram at Clay Dang Collins. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next one.